And then you go abracadabra.
Yeah.
Open it up, and boom, it's all nice and chill for you.
You put your butter in the cupboard, and you can you take it out and you can set it down like that and get some, or you can hold it.
But the point is that it doesn't take any electricity to keep the butter
The
good.
point is that it is freaking cool.
You can just put water in it, right, Terry? Just water.
She's so sexy sounding over there.
So that's for the cupboards and the cottages and the picnic baskets and all that good
People
stuff.
who don't have electricity because, stuff happens. When stoners behave badly.
That's a stoners behave badly story.
Jules, did you want to read some news, or did you want to read some news?
Yeah. Okay, I'll read. What I would like to read is a bit from this this West Coast Leaf, which is I guess you'd call it a stoner mag, but anyway.
It's a cannabis periodical.
There we go. Thank you. Etiquette. Okay, so what happened was the Americans for Safe Access were involved in an interesting adventure here, which involved an 8-gram bag of medicine, cannabis. This story is written by William Dolphin, who is, I guess, a member of the Americans for Safe Access, because that's kind of the way it looks here. So it says here, a California city's refusal to return less than $200 worth of cannabis to a qualified patient has now costed at least 1,000 times that. So, and they're saying that they had to return the cannabis anyway, so. Somebody around here's happy about that. We love, by the way, we are loving our studio audience. You guys totally rock. Yeah. Okay, so as part of the settlement to resolve their unsuccessful challenge to the state's medical marijuana law, Garden Grove officials wrote a check for $139,000. Yeah, in attorney's fees, huh? That was
Killing me over here.
Mm-hmm. But we like it, since it's killing it a good way, killing it softly. Yeah. Yo, shoo. Anyway, so that money, the $139,000 in attorney's fees to the Americans for Safe Access, was in addition to what the city had spent fighting the case, which is estimated in excess of $100,000. So right there, we're already at over $200 grand. We're almost a quarter way to be millionaires with all this money.
Yeah.
Now, here's a quote. It's unfortunate that the city of Garden Grove felt it necessary to spend more than $250,000 challenging a patient's right to his medicine. That's just simple, cut and dry. Just let him, okay. Hopefully, they're saying, this is the Americans for Safe Access Chief Counsel, Joe Elford, has said, hopefully other local officials will now do better upholding medical marijuana patients' rights under the law. You guys got a point. Yeah. When officials in Garden Grove said they would not return the 8 grams of cannabis seized from someone, back in 2005, the Americans for Safe Access filed a lawsuit, and all charges against the person in question here have been dismissed because he's able to show that he's a qualified patient under the law. Now, the city officials argued that returning his medicine would require them to violate federal law. What happened, in a landmark decision, a superior court disagreed and ordered the city to return the cannabis. Garden Grove appealed, and the state appellate panel also found in favor of the patient and said it's not the job of the local police to enforce federal drug laws. Yeah. So, that's basically what it came down to. So now city officials asked the Supreme first the Supreme Court and then the U.S. Supreme Court to reverse the decision, but they both refused to review the case at all. So the settlement, they're saying, is a huge victory for patients that underscores law enforcement's obligation to uphold state law. So basically, yeah, they're just saying patients need their medicine.
Yeah.
Let's do what we gotta do. What do you think about that story?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. And I think it's going to stop
cops in the future from hassling people and taking amounts that they shouldn't have to take, because then it's all the hassle that the upper management has to go through within the law enforcement, and all the legal paperwork and the time back and forth. And then when they lose, that's all the taxpayers' money that they've spent on something that was a waste of time.
Right. Well, they already said we want this. We want this for our people in our state to have the medicine if their doctor says they need it. And so also it'll.
And some of the cities fail to recognize that. Like San Diego has still flat banned cannabis clubs. Right. Just as San Jose, California has. San Jose doesn't have one cannabis club. It's all delivery.
Wow.
Because they will not allow they will not give a business license for a club. And the ones that have opened without business license have been red tagged.
Oh my goodness. So basically what's been going on is they've been using the federal law as an excuse or to back up why they're doing what they're doing. And so really this is a move to say, hey, the federal law is for the feds, state law is for the state, and let's kind of try to separate that or define what's what here.
Definitely, because the people that the cops are state employees; they're not federal employees.
Right.
The judge is a state employee. He's not. He works for the state of California. They don't work for the federal government, so they should not. They cannot enforce federal laws when they are working for the state, because they're working for the state, which is working for the people. And the people said, Proposition 215.
Yeah, give our people medicine, the medicine if the doctors.
So if you look at that instance where they are working for the people, and the people decided Proposition 215, then they have to go by.
That's exactly what I was saying, and very well articulated.
And what would happen is if the federal laws was brought into this, it would be what's called collusion, which has happened in a lot of cases. Let's take the Eddie Lepp case, for example, where they used federal and state law enforcement to raid his property in Upper Lake, which I believe is collusion. But that's my opinion. Anyway, we're going to have a reading out of Jack Hare's The Emperor Wears No Clothes. In May, it'll be the 25th anniversary of Jack Hare's Emperor Wears No Clothes. And I've been reading out of this. This is Hempisode number 21 for those of you that have been keeping track. My first show was on September 15th. On September 12th, Jack was at the Portland hemp stop and had a heart attack after going off stage. I had spoke to him 3 days prior to him leaving to Oregon and told him I was doing the show. So my first show on September 15th, which happened a half hour after Lake County imposed a marijuana moratorium for 30 days that went from September 15th till actually November 15th, because they extended for 30 days at that point. And my show went on September 15th. I was by myself and it was done live. And then after that, I did about 10 more shows. I'm sure people out there that have followed me have watched. And then John Seeds was a guest. I had DC as a guest. At one point, I had Hempy as my musical guest. He's in Egypt via Amsterdam. I was trying to get to Amsterdam, but he went to Egypt instead. Saw the pyramids and got lost. And now I've brought Curtis Kindbud in, and Curtis Kindbud came all the way from Ohio. He used to watch the show, and I met him on a chat room that Jack Hare used to run years ago, and he came out to California to help me with the show. And then I have introduced the Halamella Girls.
Shoo.
Laureen and Jules, if you're joining us part show. And we're going to read out of Jack Hare's Emperor Wears No Clothes now. A popular inspiration of the 19th century literary greats. From the early 1800s on, some of the world's foremost romantic and revolutionary writers on individual freedom and human dignity extolled cannabis use. We study their works in schools today as in classics. Victor Hugo, Alexander Dumas, Coleridge Gaunter de Quincey, and John Greenleaf Whitaker were all avid cannabis and mushroom users. Mushrooms influenced Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland in 1865, as well as cannabis, and Through the Looking Glass in 1872. In the early 1860s, Mark Twain's best friend and mentor was already famous best-selling writer and advocate of cannabis, the young Fitzhugh Ludlow. He wrote The Hashish Eater in 1857. Ludlow extolled hashish eating as a wondrous mind adventure, but warned strongly against the overindulgence of it and all drugs. Would you like to read some?
I would love to read
Great.
some. Okay.
And this is page 86 of The Emperor Wears No Clothes if people would like to grab their book and follow along.
Yeah, with that wonderful hashish candy label that we looked at last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So these authors' stories usually had several things in common: a complete love of freedom, respect for the dignity of each human search for individual consciousness, one of my favorite topics, and humorous contempt for the establishment, beliefs, bureaucracies, and injustices of their days, one of your favorite topics. For example, Les Miserables, which is one of the stories that was written by Victor Hugo and is now, of course, an epic play on Broadway.
You even said it with the pronunciation
Well,
to it.
you know, sometimes you have to do that when you're reading. The science of psychopharmacology started in France circa 1845. Can I say that again? Psycho. Check it out. Psycho. I'm not trying to say anything.
Psychopharmacology.
But I'm just saying, yeah, psychopharmacology.
That's a good name for a band.
Well, it started in France back around 1845.
All right.
So those people, I mean, the French, the whole, yeah, so, you know, that's why they pronounce stuff cool. Probably. Maybe. Who knows? Anyway. So, cannabis became one of the first drugs to use.
You're at school.
I'm sorry, but this is too funny, if you don't mind. It's very true, and which a lot of humor is based in truth. So, just read along with me right here, because look, the cannabis became one of the first drugs used to treat
The insane and depressed.
So, I mean, if you're feeling insane or depressed, I'm not trying to talk about our studio audience in any way or any of the production crew.
Hey, man.
I'm just saying. Okay, so Moreau was best friends with Dumas, Hugo, and Gautier, and in 1845 co-founded with them in Paris the first cannabis club, hey, in the Western world, Le Club des Hashishichins.
She nailed it. She nailed it. Boom! Home run out of the park.
Okay, do you want to read about the maple sugar hashish candy? Or should, or
Oh, you're doing great.
Okay.
You're doing great. Or Jules
maybe
read some of
Jules
some-
would like to, because she
Read
is the
along.
chefiness. Her chefiness will read here. Maple sugar hashish candy, if you don't mind us springing a couple paragraphs on you unannounced.
Okay, I suppose.
Because it's about food and stuff. So
Yeah. All right, maple sugar hashish candy. Okay, starting in the 1860s, the Gunjawala Company made maple sugar hashish
Gunjawala.
candy. Yes, let's say that one more time.
Yeah, can we?
Gunjawala Company, which soon became one of the most popular treats in America. For 40 years, it was sold over the counter and advertised in newspapers, as well as being listed in the catalogs of Sears and Roebuck
For shizzle.
as a totally harmless, delicious, and fun candy.
Which it is. Here, can we?
Wait.
Hold on.
Oh, the label.
Can we zoom in one more time on the pretty label? We didn't get it good. No, it's right here. No, it's right here. Come on, Daddy. Right here. Check this out, people. It says hashish candy. The Arabian gonje
Wow, man.
of enchantment babies.
Hey, anyone in the audience have a light? Here, light this one up.
Arabian.
It says, yeah, it says, and most most pleasurable and harmless stimulant. Cures nervousness, weakness, melancholy, etc. Inspires in all classes with new life and energy. A complete mental and physical invigorator. Send for circular. Beware of imitations. 25 cents and $1. I think that sounds like a fair price. Imported only by the Gunjawala Company.
Gunjawala.
Yay! Oh, yay! Now, next we have, shall we continue?
Yes, let's continue.
Turkish smoking parlors. I'm feeling my Helamela sister, Jules, would like to read about the Turkish smoking parlors, darlings.
World fairs and international expositions from the 1860s through the early 1900s often featured a popular Turkish hashish smoking exposition and concession. So right at the World Fair, man, yeah. Hashish smoking was entirely new for Americans. Its effects came on much faster. However, smoking hashish was only about 1/3 as strong as or long-lasting as orally ingesting the cannabis extract medicines that even American children were regularly prescribed.
Wow.
Whoa.
As a mom, have you anything to say about that? What do you think about that? I mean, that just pushed all kind of my buttons.
Well, what's worse, marijuana or Ritalin?
Dang it, you see what I like about you? That's just one of the things, is you're so smart.
Yeah.
All pretty and stuff. And,
Natural.
And a good
Natural.
mommy. Don't give those babies that Ritalin. I'm just saying, some babies might need Ritalin, but
Let's see. By 1883, similar hashish smoking parlors were legally open in every major American city, including New York, Boston, Philadelphia, Chicago, St. Louis, New Orleans, and so on. That's 1883, all over the place.
Yeah.
The Police Gazette estimated that there were over 500 hashish smoking parlors in New York City in the 1880s.
500.
Jeez.
Wow.
And it was estimated by the New York Police Department that there were still 500 or more hashish parlors in New York City in the 1920s.
Whoa. See
Let's
those?
see.
Yeah.
40
Flappers
years later,
and
still
stuff.
going.
Yeah.
More of these parlors than there were speakeasies during the same 1920s alcohol prohibition period.
Wow.
So there was more of these than speakeasies.
Okay, it just begs the question, really, really, really begs the question, and I know probably stoners all over the world and regular folks like me think about this all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, why, to me, I'm just trying to think, what do you think, or any of you folks think is underlying this prohibition of the marijuana?
Money.
Money. No, okay, but I mean, okay, say
Power.
money. Okay.
And, like they have in the Emperor wears their clothes, like where it's the strongest fiber.
Right.
And that would take nylon out.
Right.
It would take a lot of plastics out.
Yeah, because I'm saying money, great, but why? Really.
Because people with the money talk to people